Hello there, guys. I'm just flicking the telly on because it's been on in the background. And there's nothing I particularly want to watch. So, anyway, after an absolute freaking crazy day, isn't it amazing? It's lovely when you don't allow things to react. And isn't it nice that I've got so many lovely people that I pass whichever walk that I do and things like that. Unfortunately, once Harry goes, I've got no reason to go down to Edgbaston really anymore. And a lot of the kids that Elijah and Shiloh sort of were the same age and growing up with within this area, I've got nothing in common with the parents, and the children haven't really got anything in common with the children. I mean, we're definitely moving further forward. I'm just waiting for me to graduate from PT Academy, and that's the real main crux for me. And it's stuff I've got to learn as well. So I've got a lot of studying to do. And the good thing is I'm going to be incorporating it with the boys as well, with their own physiology and their science and their stuff. And because I'm going to be predominantly with only really hypermobility EDS people, I really can't be arsed with other people at the moment. And I don't even know if I can be bothered with the EDS community. I find it really difficult. And there's a video that I would really love to do for the younger EDS people that are coming through. And I'm really thinking about that being the first actual proper video that I choose to do. When I've got, and I was thinking about this today, I think it's really important. Like even now, while it's sort of hitting in the back of my neck and it sort of comes out on this side of the head, and there's a video that I would like to do to explain to people that live with pain when they're younger about how when you get older, you cope with it differently. And also on sexual boundaries to teenagers. And I think that's the sort of more line that I want to be focusing on. EDS aside, that's my personal battle. What I do with my brain and what I do with my story and what I do with my knowledge and my experiences, my mistakes. I think bullying is going to be the one that I eventually end up talking about, because that's been the one that I've had the biggest battle with all the way through my life, whether it been at school, whether it been at the playground, whether it even been in your own home. Gaslighting, I think, is something that I'm going to start talking about, but I still would like to go, and maybe later on, I'm talking probably maybe when the boys are a bit older. It's a bit difficult now because I'm 44 this year, and it's not like when you're 21 and you go, right, when I'm 21 and by the time I do this, I want to do this and I want to do that. And it's also very difficult when, like, even this young girl who's 14, who's going to be having a baby, she is never going to understand the difference in her life and what she's going to miss out with the group of girls that she's all part of as they all go off to, you know, in their high schools or college or uni or work or stuff. And she's going to be with baby, and it will be a cute baby to her friends. And I would really like to see that her community of friends would do this different. And I think baby would be part of it. And I think maybe ground a lot of the girls as well, to make them realize that actually if you do have sexual activities, that, you know, it creates a baby. And to even actually write down the actual real costs, because most people don't even know the true extent of raising a child, because they put them straight into nursery, straight into school, straight into college, straight into university, that the only thing they're really thinking about is their university fees. But it's not like that. Like, take Elijah and Shiloh. I'm going to be replacing guitars. The piano definitely needs. Then this is one of the trolls have said, why would I want to move from? I'm in a 2-bedroom place. Yeah, that's just for 2 of my children. Yeah, I've got a whole life to repair. Yeah, I have no intentions whatsoever of remaining on government benefits. When we came here, it was a forced situation. This is what I was saying to people. And what I said back in 2010 is, when you're on the system, it's a real trap, because it creates this whole foundations, and I don't like it. If I was paid on the first of the month, it would be so much fucking easier, because I'd be able to go, right, first of the month, bang, that's my monthly bills out, bang, that's what's done, whether it be insurance policies, bills or mortgage or rent or any of that things, bang, it's done. Now, what I've been trying to say to people, and I will eventually get to it, is the sort of events that I was involved in what I was trying to achieve. Even if it take a festival, you don't think the person who runs the festival pays monthly bills, do you? And this is what I was trying to teach people, the difference between somebody who has a job and maybe saves 5% of their income a month over somebody who's an investor and is in permanently investing. Take Elon Musk. Elon Musk doesn't have a house. He doesn't own a home. He doesn't need to. And this is also the reason that I've kept this flat. One, it's in Portsmouth. Two, I'm just about to put myself on the electoral roll with my phone number again, which I tried with BT when we were in the first house. So this house flat, while it is here, is only really here. So if Aaron and Faith ever try searching Kellie Cottam, that is on their birth certificate, and Portsmouth born, then they would be able to go to the electoral roll or the phone book. So I've said, yes, I'm going to be on the phone book for my number. And it is only really purely for them. And that's the reason it's there. Now, in terms of living, I've got no intentions of staying in the UK. I've never had any intentions of staying in the UK. When I met Lee, who was Jessica's father, I talked to the same about him when I was 15, when I was with James, with Liam's dad, when I was with Graham. We spoke about the same things. But both of my husband, partners, children's fathers all took the same thing. And the irony, Graham is one of the most awesome guitar players, breakdancer. He actually won Hitman and Her show at a club once, but he got a job. Yeah, and that's what most people do when they have the responsibility of the children. They provide a home. And this is why I went to the people that I went to in the first place, because I wanted to know what was different in their mindset to what I was. And they completely challenged every belief system that I had ever had, whether that belief system came from school, whether that belief system came from my parents, whether that belief system came from anywhere else. And it's exactly the same to a Saturday night, because most people are constructed to work through the week, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, stop working on a Friday, go out and get pissed on a Friday night, and go out and get laid on a Saturday night, and lay in bed on a Sunday. Or Friday night, people go away for weekends, whether it be camping, festivals, blah, 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 blah. But a Saturday night is predominantly a date night or a singles night. I was walking home the other day. I'm only coming on for a minute because I'm just literally just switching over from Boys' Day, shutting down, like washing up, tea time, stuff like that. And for me, a Saturday is meant to be a date night, but I won't leave my boys to go out. Now, if I said to Dean, I'm going out, he would be happy to look after the boys, and I'm happy for the Dean to be with, he's the father. But if me and Dean were to go out together, there is nobody that I would leave the boys with. Nobody. I don't mind the teenage girls that I've got that hang around with me coming to like Victorious and chilling with me and being an extra pair of eyes and things like that and being around. I don't mind, say, if I'm on the park and they're with me and they're with my kids and stuff like that. I don't even mind if I'm in the house and they're here and I just pop across to get some milk from Asda. But that is the longest that I would leave them. And that's just the way it is for now. I don't know if it's going to change. I don't know if it ever will change. My mum, yes. Now, if my mum was having the boys and say I was car booting tomorrow and she was having the boys for me to get up early to do the car boot and I went out the night before, but my mum, yes. But then even my mum, no, because my mum's belief systems are completely different to mine and she would project those belief systems onto my boys. And it's like, I'm not trying to project any belief systems on anyone. I'm explaining the raveling of the belief systems through that system and where I'm trying to get back to. See, for my natural body clock, it is always to crave the sunrise, sunset, and then memories in the middle. The Bible then says at Sabbath we rest. And then it goes, but then again, this comes back to the Catholic Church and the things that changed that made some people believe that you go to church on a Sunday, which is actually worshipping the sun god, and the true Sabbath day being Friday. So for me, there is always meant to be a date night, and a date night for me is a Saturday night. And it's either you're single and you go out on a Saturday night to meet somebody, or you are in a relationship and you date, or you are married and you make that your date night and you spend your time doing that. And that might be anything from going for a meal, going to a wine bar, going to a show, going to a concert, going to a thing. And these are the things that are around you in this world. So take at the moment here in Portsmouth, we got the Comic Con Festival, yeah? So the person who's organised that event, do you know how much money they will clear from that event? Let's find out after the event. But it takes either somebody to be a pioneer and employ people, or to be the employee of the employer. So you'll either work for somebody else and then you end up, because your savings won't be big enough, the government will sell your home to pay for your care needs. So eventually we are all going to fucking die. Fact. All our bodies are going to decay. There is very, very, very few people, other than the woman who at 100 years old has parachute jumped. What a fucking woman. What a absolute diamond. Like, seriously, to go parachute jumping at 100 years old. And I think that is just epic. I think that is the most awesomest thing in the world. But she doesn't have childcare. She doesn't, while she's up in that plane jumping. See, when I did my parachute jump, I had my Aunt Christine and my cousin Jamie, and we also had my cousin Stephen, who was helping out as well, when I then took Liam and Daniel to be able to go and do the older things with them, and he helped me out with the younger ones with my Aunt Christine. And so I had that, and that's why I went up the way that I did, because I had family support there. Now, would I necessarily leave my children with all of my family? Too right. I tell you what, if I was over at my Aunt Alison's way, I would have no problem whatsoever getting the suitcases out, throwing my kids through my door at my Aunt Alison's, and saying, "See you in a weekend time." You know, I'm off with my cousin Michelle to, you know, one of the festivals. I'd have no problems, but I would. And this is what I've got to work on, and this is what I feel that the therapy that I'm going into is going to help me. But I don't think it's going to help until, one, I've had the upright MRI scan that I know what I'm dealing with. I think it's a bit 100% that I have cranial instability, which is a part of EDS. I don't think it's irrefutable, and I really don't think that any upright MRI scan is going to deny that I have cranial instability. Whether I have a Chiari or a Chiari drop is another matter. But it's looking high that I have the drops. Whether I have a full drop, I don't know. And that's what the upright scan will finally do for me. I don't give a shit what it does for you people. I give a shit what it does for me, yeah? How it changes my physio program. How it changes the people around me who have a physical scan in front of them. Like, if I had a broken arm, people would physically see and they go, that lady has a broken arm. Like when I've got wires in my wrist, yeah? So things like having people around you, and this is why social services are so fucking shit, mate, because they've done nothing to educate Dean about EDS. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Not even when I first met him to say, do you know what a 50-50 chance of passing on this condition means? They didn't even speak to him about whether he wanted to terminate the births and end it, and not even take that chance. Didn't even speak about it, mate. Didn't even sit down and say, right, well, there's a 50-50 chance. And, you know, even with me, they didn't even sit down and explain to him what a protective factor meant, because we were not married. Yeah. So it's like, Nobody has ever sat down and gone, right, what is Kellie's worst day? What is her best day? How does she feel on her worst day? What is it that injures on her worst day? Now, actually, I deal with it all pretty well. What I don't deal with is when I am mismanaged. Being paid on the 18th of the month, whether it be my employer, whether it be Universal Credits, or whether it be me as a self-employer invoicing people on for the first of the month and people not paying me until the 18th. It doesn't work. Because we are slotted and divided into these calendars and it works. Yeah, we all have utility bills to pay, whether it be council tax, whether it be car insurance. Now, I'm not saying that all this is right. What I'm saying is it's there and we have this obligation to live by whatever country we live in. I can go over to another country where I don't even need a driving license. Yeah, I can go over to one country where I can sit in a place and eat a space cake. And I can go into another country where I could probably do something that's completely illegal in another country. I could walk over to America and buy a gun. Yeah, so, it's all about which culture or country or what government you have that's controlling the rules and regulations around you. And that's my push. EDS aside, that will be part of my spiritual battle and spiritual path. I'm only 44 this year. Yeah, I could live to 110. I could live to 90. I could live to 80. I may even have 3 months left, 3 years, 30 years. Who knows? I don't know. The Lord knows my exit day. And that's about it. So every day you get up and you get on. But for me, it's about management because one, whether the boys were going to school or homeschool, yeah, there's still a schedule. There's still a routine. The boys still need to know day, night, morning, evening, afternoon, or whatever people want to call it in terms of breakfast, dinner, tea, or breakfast, lunch, and supper, yeah? How I choose to educate my children on those, whether I say A, B, C's through to Z or through to Z, yeah? The influence that I have on my children isn't the decision on any other person around. Even if I would be happy for my children to drop something and go, oh, fuck, of which I wouldn't be. However, I would educate my children in the correct terminologies because in some countries to go, oh, fuck you, yeah, it's completely fucking normal. But if you went, oh, fuck you over here, people go, oh, what an ignorant cunt. But I'm quite happy saying, oh, fuck you. Yeah, there was a time in my life I wasn't. There was a time in my life I was such a damn fucking people pleaser. I really fucking hated any form of confrontation. You wouldn't even hear me say no to somebody. Yes, that's fine. Yes, that's fine. Yes, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. No, it's not fine. Oh, I got a little visitor who's meant to be in bed. Oh, what we got stuck? A car was stuck. Okay, no problems. Right, anyway, I'm going to go and get a car unstuck. So if you want to write any nice posts, what's your ideal date night? How do you schedule your week? And yeah, most importantly, health. And that's where we are. So have a nice night. And to the trolls,